In this week's Shorts and Shells, senior editor Eric Edholm wrote about the biggest offseason move, which was Peyton Manning leaving Indianapolis to go to Denver and the Colts drafting Andrew Luck, and seeing how that's worked out midway through the season, and for both teams pretty well. The Colts are 5-3, the Broncos are 5-3, and my favorite stat about it, Eric, that Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck have each thrown for the same amount of yards through 8 games. And when we look at it, the Colts are certainly overachieving. The Broncos are where a lot of people expected. Which team at this point do you think has gotten the better end of the deal?
It's a great question. It's almost impossible to answer, too, when you think about the short term. Would the Broncos probably have the better chance of winning a Super Bowl this season or next, kind of mirroring what John Elway did at the end of his career, winning 2 titles and then walking off into the sunset? You know, I think you'd have to say in the immediate term, the Broncos got the better end of the deal. They've got the better defense, the better offensive line, all these other things. And yet the Colts, for the next, who knows, 10, 12, 14 years, have several chances to win Super Bowls. The Broncos might have a smaller window, but they're better chances now. I just think that down the road, the Colts have more opportunities. They will get better. Ryan Grigson will build a better roster. And I think maybe you have to say the Colts because of the larger window they've got.
You know, the Broncos right now definitely have the better roster
Sure.
when you look at it. But, you know, in 3 years, let's say that's how long Peyton Manning has left, I mean, you can take the Colts with Andrew Luck or the Broncos with Brock Osweiler. I think you have to take the Colts in that aspect. And you talk about the immediate future. I mean, right now, if the playoffs started today, we're looking at the Colts and Broncos playing each other, or at least being in the mix for it, based on some tiebreakers. So in the immediate future, it's you go with the Broncos because they certainly have a higher ceiling, but it's hard to ignore what the Colts are doing with this 5-3 record, with everything that's been going on with that franchise.
And think about where they were. I mean, they were the team that had to suck for luck to get into this position. I mean, they were 0-8 at the midway point last season, deep into the season before they won a game. Everybody said this is the biggest rebuilding project if Manning doesn't come back. He doesn't, but Reggie Wayne stays. A couple of those pass rushers stay. They just have a couple of last vestiges of a great team. And guess what? The rebuilding process has been flipped on its head. They're competitive this season. So I don't even know if it takes 3 years for them to get great. I mean, they could be there next year.
And, you know, the one thing about the whole Luck and Manning, Broncos, Colts, Elway, the whole thing, we've never seen anything like it in football. We've never seen a team be so good for so long and then just be terrible and then get the best quarterback in a couple decades. And then for another team, the Denver Broncos, to spend their offseason getting a future Hall of Famer who clearly is still at a very high, playing at a very high level. So we've never seen anything like this. Who knows if we'll see anything like it again. But the interesting thing, Eric, about the Colts is that they had to get so bad to get Luck. And you look, they clearly had no backup plan at quarterback. So in a weird way, you know, as we said, short term, maybe the Broncos have the edge, but in the long term, the Colts have the edge because they were so bad last season.
And I mean, look, Jim Irsay, I definitely got lucky in this situation. I mean, you know, not having the backup for years and years and years, they would always go with these sort of second-rate guys, second-rate backups, really, and not having a developmental prospect. We've seen other teams like the Patriots at least try to draft some guys and try to develop some QBs. But, you know, I mean, they rolled the dice and they lost last year, but in losing, as you said, they won and they got a great prize in Andrew Luck.
We'll see more about the Luck and the Manning Broncos Colts situation and other Week 9 observations. Check out Eric's Shorts and Shells column. Let us know what you think about this game time decision. Which team is better off, the Broncos or the Colts? And head to our website at profootballweekly.com.